Hello friends, teachers, hope you're doing well. This is my Halloween tie. I hope you're enjoying this season, this fall, this autumn. It's beautiful, it's different. It witnesses of a God of wonder, a God of miracles, which is our topic in Mormon 9, as we hope to help students understand how having faith in God can allow him to perform miracles and that would witness those. If God is alive, then miracles are real. This is exciting and relevant. Our intent really is to build faith in Jesus Christ. So we can do that, right? That's our goal for the day. As we start out the lesson, we're inviting students to think of a few examples of miracles that some may mistake as coincidences. Now, this may be kind of a tough sell right off the bat. And so we might want to ask students a little bit about really cool things that some people attribute to God and others might not. Like it might be eclipse, it might be the beauties around us, it might be volcanoes, it might be this, that, or the other, but just to get students talking about things that are pretty cool in our world that some connect with God, some might not. And then ask, why do you think some people might think it's more coincidence than God? This is interesting. I think students would want to share something about that. But then that second question that I like even more, why is it important for someone to have faith that it's God? What difference does it make to attribute all these really cool things to God? So I think as we massage this beginning, we can get somewhere and have more students talking and sharing and things that way. I do like this first search, but I'd recommend adding a little pizzazz. I don't know if that's the right word, but right here we've got, so we're talking miracles and God's involvement. So let's look in 9 through 11, looking for what Moroni taught about God. That's a little vague. I think if students were just to read through those verses, I think we can be a little bit more specific and get more out of them. So let's invite them to look in these searches and mark truths that you can find in these verses about God. Just mark everything. And so we want them to get more out of that. And I think the way that we invite students to search can help facilitate that taking place. And so they're gonna, and then you're just gonna have them share what truths did you mark. And we might want to write these two on the board because we're gonna focus on these two. Say these are all wonderful. We're gonna focus on these two today. So now we've really set up the foundation for our class, and now we're ready to go. This lesson has a fun idea. It says, come up with a way you could help students think more deeply. And there is a recommendation here, the pamphlet idea. I'm really excited that our curriculum in 2025 in the appendix is going to have tons of ideas for a variety, and making a pamphlet is one of those. It's an opportunity to do something different for students to exercise their creative juices, to draw, to write, to explore. But the goal is to help them have a deeper experience with the principles in our lessons. And so this is an opportunity to do this. And so we've got, on the screen, you can see an example of how to fold the paper. You could do it however you want, but we're going to make sections. You may want to start by saying, we're going to do a pamphlet. And pamphlets, what are they designed to do? And if you've got a pamphlet, bring it and show students. You'll notice, what do people do with pamphlets to make them effective? Pictures, kind of simple, not too much text, but enough where the text is really rich in information and gets you excited about something. And so you're going to tell students that that's what we're going to do today as we learn more about faith and miracles and how God works in our lives. And so section 1, we're going to title it God is a God of Miracles. Invite students to draw a picture for the cover of that pamphlet. And if we can start this project out right, it's more likely to end right. And so have fun with this cover, and you can brainstorm together. What might you draw a picture of if you're going to illustrate God as a God of miracles? What goes on the front? And let students know that stick figures are fine. Lousy art is fine. It could be considered abstract, but just have fun with this. Maybe put a timer on it. Say, we're just going to take 3 minutes to make your best cover. And after you make the cover, you can have them quickly show and kind of have a little bit of an experience with that together. Then we're going to section 2. And so I would recommend as we go to the next, you're going to say, let's work together on brainstorming the next section of our pamphlet. Let's title it Examples of Miracles. And so we're going to maybe on the whiteboard take a bunch of notes. So we're going to have students look in 11 through 18, looking for miracles that Moroni wanted us to recognize, and we're going to mark those. And then maybe you write them on the whiteboard. Here's some of the miracles that Moroni wanted us to recognize. And so we'll find those that, the fall, we'll talk about the creation, the resurrection. So we're writing all these things on the board. But then we're going to say, can we list other miracles in the scriptures? And let's just list 10 really quick, and we're going to go fast, and we're going to list miracles. And so the board now is a brainstorming session for the students to use as they make their second page. I'd recommend on each section of the pamphlet to put a little box, maybe have students draw a little square in the corner, and maybe even another one in the bottom corner for a drawing. Drawing is fun. It also enhances the beauty, and it makes this feel a little bit more like a pamphlet instead of just a note sheet. The way it's written in here, it kind of looks like it's more just taking notes and pretending it's a pamphlet. I say go ahead and make a pamphlet, and students can do this and do this well. And so once you've got your board with notes, say you've got 3 minutes, we're going to go quick. Draw your pictures, and you're going to write some of your best writing describing examples of miracles and how they come and who performs them. And just, this is a pamphlet. Keep reminding them this is a pamphlet. You're going to hand it to someone. It should be rich. All right. Then after 3 minutes, you can say, let's go to our next section. You can erase the board and say, okay, let's go to miracles happening today. And so we're going to look in Mormon 9:19, looking for what Moroni teaches about miracles today. And we're just going to say God keeps doing them. He doesn't change, and so miracles are still happening. And we'll read this quote, and we're writing notes on the whiteboard because we're helping our students prepare to make that next section of the pamphlet. And so write notes on the whiteboard. And then when we're done, we've asked some good questions, we've had some good discussions, we've written some things down, say, okay, here's another box. You're going to draw a picture that somehow relates to miracles happening today, and you're going to write some text on your pamphlet. It could be 2 or 3 sentences. It doesn't need to be much. Remember, pamphlets, just you want the good stuff. You want some beauty in the pictures, in stick figures or whatever it is. And then they go. So we're going to our next section, how to invite God to work miracles. Again, we're going to do the same thing. We'll search, we'll talk about things, we'll write some notes on the board, and we're going to say now, okay, you've got some ideas, let's draw pictures and go from there. All of this is rinse and repeat as we go through. I might even add a section because in theory if you've got a trifold, you've got 6 places that you could use. So you can add or take away however you want, but I might add a final section of my testimony or my witness of miracles and invite students just to finish the pamphlet by sharing, what do you believe about miracles and how God operates in the world today? Do you have any experiences? What would your final sentiments be as we consider a God of miracles in your life? And have students, this is an opportunity for them to testify. You can have them share if they're comfortable after this. They can hand them in and you can look through them. You can have them share with a partner. But this is a great idea to get students thinking a little bit more deeply, going a little bit more carefully, having a little bit of fun, but having an experience, immersing themselves in a God of miracles. I think it's going to be a fun time. Thanks for being a teacher and being such a positive influence on the youth.